We're like, we're just gonna beach, and I was like, oh, it's fine. It's supposed to be. Nice. It's fine. Oh, yeah, you're like, I know what I'm doing. But if I'm doing that, growing up, because like it was like a big band. And like you can do a big thing like but my grandmother was out with the horses and I said, we were there, we spent the entire day there. Morning.
Yes, kind of.
Okay, so August 17th arrived. I see that we're all still here. We all still have a pulse. I did not get word of anybody dying from terminal change in contracts. How are y'all feeling?
So good.
So good.
Easy peasy, man.
Easy, I love it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. In case you do not share Eladio's swagger with the easy peasy lemon squeezy, please do remember we do have workshops every Friday with the one, the only, the broker, Lindsay Scott.
Oh, wow.
Going through to yeah. Well, the fact that Lindsay is still upright after the 17th makes me very happy. That was the poll I was most concerned about. But you have workshops every Friday. This is a great time to bring those hypothetical situations that I know at like 12:30 a.m. you open your eyes in bed and go, oh my gosh, but what if this happens? Then how would I do the contracts? That's what Lindsay is here for. So you can always reach out to the broker to ask, but even better than that, let all of us learn from each other, bring those hypotheticals on Friday, work through those in our contracts workshops. And so far so good. Everyone see the new Repsy come out?
Yes.
Yes, we love it. We're so
Yes.
excited it's in the Repsy now.
Absolutely.
Okay, good, me too. And then we are in Ignite Week. So if you would like to work on Win the Buyer and in Trujillo, we'll be here on Wednesday, right, and receive offers because no one can get enough of hanging out with Lindsay. So be here on Wednesday for that and then again on Friday for contracts. Social media with Chris McGee, also on Wednesday. Thursday, you could come for lead generation with Nate Sassy, networking communities with Patria, within the seller with Mike Harmony, and then Friday, we're wrapping it up with contract to close, lending basics, and open houses. So if any of those topics are things that you are working on in your business, please remember that you do not have to attend all of Ignite to get those sessions. If you have never attended Ignite in its entirety, or if you've attended it once or twice in its entirety, I suggest maybe checking it out again. But if you are an Ignite grad, but looking at implementing some of those things in your business or doing them at a higher level, please utilize this training opportunity. Most often Ignite is going to be in here. We will have a couple of days like today that it's in the other room. Path to Capping Mastermind. Eladio, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Can you run Eladio mic? And will you talk just a little bit about Path to Capping Mastermind? Why do we do it? And why should you be there? So anyone in the room that capping is their next goal that they're working on? Can I get a raised hand? Okay, so this front row, Joe, I need all three of you to turn around and look at Eladio, 3, 4 of you. Turn around and look at Eladio. So I want to make sure that we've got real clarity on who Mastermind is for and why there's value in being here. And go.
Thanks, Robin. Okay, so the design
We get a
for Path to Capping is you've probably done some business, right? You probably closed a deal or two, and yes, the next milestone is capping. In that transition, you're going to experience some pain points. Hopefully, maybe you get really, really busy and you don't know how to navigate those waters, right? Or you closed and now you're slowing down, you need to build that momentum up, right? The goal of that mastermind is to get you from 1 to 2 deals to that next 5, 7, 10, and then we can transition you into the, what is it, the Capper mastermind?
Mastermind.
Right? So it's just that like little in between where there's a very different focus on where I've already capped or I'm doing a certain amount of business to where I've got different habits and things going on. This is much more like, okay, we're trying to prime the pump or keep that momentum going to get you from that 1 or 2 that we've got. Let's get those translating into a few more and do it so you feel as few pain points as possible when you like, oh my gosh, I have 2 under contract. What the hell do I do? And it feels really overwhelming. And it's like, okay, chill, bro, we got you. Let's help you get through this so you've got some resources to make sure it doesn't feel chaotic.
Love it. Couldn't have said it better myself, which is why you have the mic. And then confection and connection. So after Path to Happy Mastermind, and this is on Thursday, sorry, just kidding, Wednesday,
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. We have confection and connection, which is a time for agents to come together, get to know one another socially. Most of our ALC attends, so you'll have a chance to meet your ALC members if you haven't done that already. But it's a time, sometimes the conversations are very business driven and we end up really in kind of a networking and mastermind scenario. Sometimes it's just very social and building community, both are valuable. And it makes it, I think, more comfortable than when you're trainings and events that you actually know these people that you want to see. So the very, very, very best part of confection and connection is that Jordan McQueen usually bakes something incredible. Do you know what's on deck?
Last week, we did throw out a cobbler, like a, what was it? Like blueberry peach or something like that.
Okay, it is cobbler season. This is a good season for cobbler. We've had turnovers, we've had incredible cake. Jordan had a good year in business and decided he was gonna take, I don't know, like a quarter off and go do culinary academy in Park City. And so since then, he's been doing some baking for us, and I need this event to continue to be well attended so that Jordan continues to bake for me once a month. Because really that's a very selfish reason, but it's a lot of fun. So please join us 4 to 5 on Wednesday and tomorrow. And then the 23rd, so this Friday, we have our next shadow as top agent. Lisa Capabella will be the top agent that you have the opportunity to shadow. She runs an incredible business. And Lisa, are you focusing on buyers or sellers?
I am going to surprise you because I need to talk to you about Friday.
All right, so Lisa Capabella has our top agent on Friday.
You and I not yet talk. I will be out of town, but
Okay.
I can do it by Zoom or we can be, I'll figure something.
We will either have Lisa by Zoom or she will have arranged for an incredible replacement to teach you about buyers or sellers. Shadow a top agent is an opportunity for you to have that sitting at the table experience with a top agent. We do a lot of trainings on putting together your buyer consultation, your value proposition for buyers, all of these components, but there is a beauty and a magic to seeing what it looks like when it's actually in execution. And that's very hard to do in the classroom setting, which is why we offer this opportunity to just shadow an agent. So it's a role play, but it is a live role play and as close as you can get to just sitting in the kitchen with these top agents. All right. Contracts Decoded. And so our next workshop, as I mentioned, is going to be on Friday. We've got 2 of these left, and then we will kind of evaluate, see where things are with contracts and what we want to get on the training schedule moving forward. If there are aspects of the contract that have not been covered yet in a training that you wonder and wish that Lindsay would get to, you've shown up to these Friday workshops hoping and you haven't seen it yet, please see her. Let her know, we can work that into these next couple of Fridays, or as I mentioned, we are making decisions moving forward, moving into September on what our contracts training and education for agents will look like. And we definitely want to make those decisions informed with your feedback. Lost and found. Y'all, I have found some strange things in our office and I always wonder, like, what was the situation that came together such that this specific item ended up in this specific place? And I'm sure it's a good story. So we do have a lost and found. Thank you, Isaiah, for putting that together. It is over by the copy machine so that we can stop putting things that are found on the kitchen counter or on Isaiah's desk or here on the credenza. So if you lose it in the market center, go check by the copy machine. We will be clearing that out once a month and making a donation to Goodwill or somebody, depends, I guess, on how good, what you leave behind is. Maybe it's a donation to me. I do need another Yeti. I lost mine at the airport, so looks like there's maybe one in there. So check the lost and found to make sure that you clear your belongings out of there. And if you happen to find a random thing sitting around the office, feel free to drop it off in that bin. This I was so excited about. So all I had to do was leave the market center for a full week and the content room was finally magically put together. So let's give Isaiah a huge hand. This room is now primed and ready for you to record your videos, to do your podcasts. We've got a green screen, we've got a white screen. The sound buffers that he has put up keep your volume from bouncing off of the walls. We will have trainings on some great opportunities that you could use this content room to put together marketing and branding pieces for your clientele. But take advantage of this. And again, thank you so much for putting that together. I am so excited that the content room is finally a content room and not a storage room.
Where is it?
It is right by the marketing bar. Do you want to?
Yeah, so it's right by the marketing bar, so you walk right past the coffee machine, and to your left, it's that door. So in between that and then conference room 3, that look the same place.
And we'll probably throw like a recording in session sign on that, so that if you're in recording, nobody that's open the door. KW Luxury, Kimber, I'm gonna put you on the spot because I'm not gonna put people on the spot sort of mood today.
Yeah.
Will you talk a little bit about the luxury speaker series, who this training is for?
Yes, so Keller Williams hosts a luxury pro speaker series nationally every other month. It's been in Colorado this year. It's gonna be in Nashville in November. We get to host it in the state of Utah in September. So this is luxury focused. If you are not earned in, you can still pay to attend. It definitely is going to have, again, luxury content. So if you're looking to sell more luxury real estate, it's a good event. Brady Sandall and Caroline, they are leaders of the luxury community. They will be there, but they always have a guest speaker. They haven't announced that person yet, but I will just say, of all the Keller Williams events I've been to in the last 10 years, I would say Brady and Caroline are my top 2 as far as a training that I've attended. It's interesting how clear their message like resonates with what you need to actually do or how you need to change how you're doing and thinking. So, and it's in Park City, quick jaunt.
Yeah.
So that cost, that $150, the value is there. So,
Agreed.
yeah.
It's so the last time we had Brady Sandall, we didn't even have Caroline as well. The last time we had Brady Sandall locally, the feedback from agents that attended was one, the content was so good for their luxury business, but 2, even outside of luxury, we had a couple of agents that attended that said, you know, I do some luxury deals, but this isn't really a focus in my business. The business building, the referral building, the experience that that Brady goes through and trains on to create for your clients is great for every price point. There will also be a lot of out-of-state agents that attend this. That's a part of this speaker series, is that agents that are part of the Luxury Pro program will travel around and go to these different events. So a great opportunity for you to get some face-to-face time, do some networking with agents to build referral opportunities. And luxury is a segment of the market that I think becomes increasingly interesting in a market like we are working with right now. So this is really great timing, to tap into that and be able to build your market share.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Kuahara. All right, Lisa, do you want to talk a little bit about Kuahara?
Yes, it is coming up and I am really excited. We are going to be doing the kickoff here. You should have received one email already. We will have another one coming out today that gives a little bit more information on how to register and start getting the word out because we're combining with Salt Lake and South Valley offices. So it's first come, first served. There's no RSVP deadline. Just get your tickets in. One thing I generally do is commit to how many tickets I want to give away. And then put that number in and then just make sure I fill that number by reaching out to my SOI. This is an amazing chance to finish off the year strong by touching every it always helps out.
Connecting
By getting in touch
with.
to each person in your SOI.
Love it. Let me pass the mic back to the Orlandinis for a minute because the two of them have really taken advantage of this event and done it outright. What would your top suggestions outside of like have incredible talent and creativity with your costuming and to create social pieces, but what is it that you do that really helps drive this event and leverages it for business?
I would say we focus on the fact that it is a family activity and that they can bring their kids. And I think that that's become a tradition for our families and our clients. And so they not only look forward to that, they look forward to also look forward.
Where can everyone find you on Instagram? Because one, follow each other, support each other, hype each other up. Like we have such an incredible opportunity because of the community that we have here to support one another in our online efforts and on our social media strategies. So I would love for everyone to be doing that anyway. And there are some great examples of putting together reels and how to use, we're going to take the opportunity to be silly at one of these events, how that can then be used in your social media. So where do they find you on Instagram?
Team Orlando.
Team Orlandini. So check out Team Orlandini. You can see the Addams family. What's the theme for this year? Really excited.
Beetlejuice.
Ooh, it's a good year for Beetlejuice. It's a good year for Beetlejuice. All right.
Also, can say what I really find it's successful. At first, I was kind of stressed how many tickets I get, and I could run out of tickets. So I figured out that, well, I ended up doing about 2 more touch points with the people. I have a general one that I send. I do send individual text messages. I find that to be most effective. I'm saying it because I do individual text messages. And then we have some pictures and then people really respond to that. And then I ask them how many people, whatever, and then before they, so a week before the event, then I confirm it with the people that have confirmed with me. And then the day of the event, again, so that number of text messages gets smaller and smaller, right? But there's always 2 things that happen. One, people that did respond, because I give them a deadline to respond to me on the people that didn't respond, they reach out, hey, I missed out, I still get tickets. That did respond, they say something come up. So I usually don't run out of tickets or don't buy the tickets as long as I am constantly.
Love that.
One other thing that we do is we have them touch us that night to like physically get the ticket and we have like a little big bag for them. So we're also seeing them in person that same day.
Love it.
Even if it's like even when we did the
Uh-huh. Cowabunga Bay, or no, it was that Splash Summit.
even though they had it from the tickets, I still have it. Just for something I let them know that I have something for them.
That's great. That's great. All right. So any questions about this or our other client appreciation events, please see Lisa, see Orlandini's, check in with agents that are really leveraging this at a high level. It is a huge opportunity. And if I put on my soapbox for a minute, having put together these events on my own for my own business for years, I could not get through an event without at least spending $5,000 regardless of how many people came. And without absolutely developing some new gray hair that my stylist had to take care of. And that was with having a full-time assistant that really did the heavy lifting. These are major undertakings. And anytime I was putting together a client appreciation event, I think the hardest part for me is that there was one night in the prep that I would wake up and think, what if nobody comes? Or worse, what if 2 people come? And then they're looking around going, oh my gosh, why do I work with this lady? Nobody will even come to her party. Now, that never happened. I am happy to report I didn't ever actually have that experience. That was just the stuff of my nightmares. But having these group events makes it so that when your clients arrive, you could have 2 people come to this party and they still feel like you look like a rock star because they have no idea how many people are at this party because they're here to see the Orlandinis with Beetlejuice, because they're Eladia's clients, because they're my clients, or because they're your clients. So if you are newer in building your database, you're newer in throwing these parties, this is like the perfect scenario to be doing that in. Off my soapbox. And onto my Linktree soapbox. So we're gonna do another check-in. Who has used this link and looked at our Linktree? Oh, this makes me happy. The hands make me happy. Has anybody gone to the Linktree to find something and it wasn't there? No. Okay, I love that. If you went to the Linktree and there was something you were looking for and it wasn't there, what would you do?
Right.
Go to Isaiah.
Right, great.
Cry, scream, go to Isaiah, delete the app from your phone and never ever go back again, block this, that, no. All you have to do is click on the little link on the Linktree that gives suggestions, like if there's something that you can't find here, put it here, and then you just turn that into Isaiah, he will have it up within 48 hours. So no need for tears. And then the weekly newsletter, everyone is getting the weekly newsletter? Yes, hands up, yes, yes, okay. And so just a quick reminder, our team meetings are recorded. If you're wanting to go back and watch a training that you missed or that you want to get more information on, or maybe we did a training and you weren't ready for that in your business at that moment, but now you've reached a time that you really want to go back and learn about working with expireds or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Those recaps go out in the weekly newsletter. They're also all available on our YouTube library. Coming soon. Who has listings coming up soon? Eladio.
I got a really great property coming up in Rose Park. That sounds weird, but it is what it is. It's a newer one, built in like the late 90s, early 2000s, and it's big. It's like 3,300 square feet. Very, very rare in the area. Remodeled kitchen. It's going to be vacant, easy to show. Probably priced around 600. It's a really, really good property if you're looking for someone in that area who wants a lot of bedrooms. It's got 6 beds and 3,300 square feet. That just doesn't exist in that northwest quadrant. So.
We have a townhome that we're taking the photos tonight and be live by Thursday. 3-bedroom, it's in Riverton, will be priced around $415 to $420. And when I say Mr. Clean lives here, yeah, there is not a speck of dust anywhere in this house. It's been remodeled. It has leather finish, granite countertops, everything. It's really pretty.
That's it. It's like Tony has one.
Actually have 3 coming up, but one is in West Valley, 5-bedroom, 2-bath, fully redone, but windows need to be done. It's almost 2,200 square feet, right in the 525 range, new carpet, new paint. extra big garage, extra RV on a corner lot. I also have $115,000 mobile in Majestic Metals. Lot rent is $1,025. The one disadvantage is it has 2 bedrooms. And I'll also have a 3-bedroom and, another 2-bedroom mobile in Cottonwood Cove coming up. That's right at 125, available next month. That is a 55+ community. Lot rent also $1,025.
Fantastic. All right, any other coming soons? We had 11 listings taken last week. Y'all know that the double digits make my heart happy, so thank you to Mike Heslop, Cameron Burnside with 2, Joe Reardon with 2, the Orlandinis with 2, Dustin Bradbury, Tony Hellman, and Ruben Gomez with 2. Let's do a huge round of applause. And now I'd like everyone, because we've got such a great group here today, pair up, and if you end up with triples, that's okay, but just turn to somebody who's next to you really quickly. I'll wait and make sure everyone's got someone they're looking at in the eyeball. Okay, so very quickly, I would just love for everyone to share what is one thing you can do this week that will help you to take a listing. Whether it's that you take a listing this week because of that activity, or you take a listing in 3 months because of this activity, what is one thing that you are willing to do that will help you take a listing? And your job in being good accountability partners is if somebody gives you a Mickey Mouse, not real answer on that, support them in that conversation. Let's be here for one another and help them to get to something that is real, that will tangibly make a difference in them taking a listing and that they're willing to commit to do. And then partner A can switch to partner B. You can share that back and forth, and then make some commitments so that next week when you come to team meeting, you can share with your partner, hey, I told you that I was going to call through the people in my SOI that live in East Sandy and let them know I have a buyer looking there and see if they know of anyone who's looking to sell. And I actually made 5 of those phone calls. Or whatever your was. All right. Now I am also going to ask that you are great accountability partners and supports to each other. So as you look around the room, because I know that we've got some people with some good ADD in here, so you could be having a conversation and scanning the room at the same time. If you see somebody who looks like they don't have a partner or they're not sharing, that you reach out and make sure that they join your group and that everybody is able to share one thing that they're going to take on this week, and go.
That is well. I do need to get some like. I don't know.
Yeah, I wrote.
But like. Oh, and oh, yeah, I mean, like, my God. Yeah, so that kind of like ties it a little bit. 275. Yeah.
There, this would be a good time for the second one to jump in.
Yeah, but I mean, make sure. Gotta. See, okay, at least for that. Yeah. Well, it's. I just did like. So I'm like, yeah, something. My name is.
That probably
It's like, how much you actually.
Yes, yeah, but, yeah, but I just when it came to the.
You're gonna set your friend.
Yeah.
It's like not big.
That's not. You're like, it's not even. It's just not.
It is. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. The water, the one gallon of water is gonna listen.
All right, wrap up this last thought. And see. So a week from today, when you are all back in this room, please look for your accountability partner and celebrate their wins for the week. Celebrate your wins with them and really use this as an opportunity. Sometimes the thing that we've got to do to move our listing business forward might be a little bit scary, a little bit intimidating, and it might be easier to have so much happen in the week that you just didn't quite get around to making those phone calls. For me, it is always scarier, it is always more intimidating, it is always less palatable for me to think about looking somebody in the eyeballs that I said I was going to do something and having to say, yeah, I definitely just didn't ever do that. And so that's the power of accountability, and I would really suggest anything in your business, in your life, that you find yourself making excuses to not do, that you find yourself resisting, set up an accountability partner on that. Because sometimes it's just getting through that initial push. That's all you need to open up what's possible for you there. All right. Thank you very much to our 75 hard, it's like 5 hard, 75 hard team captains that have taken up that challenge and agreed to lead all of us through this. We've got a couple of them here, so let's give Eladia the mic, Rachel the mic. Will you talk just a little bit, like 2 minutes, about 75 hard, why this is something that agents want to be focused on right now in their business?
I mean, first of all, the tasks are really easy on the agent one that I'm doing, so it's not very hard. I think yesterday I started at like maybe 11. Have lunch and still finish by like 3:30. So it's not like an incredibly time consuming thing. So one, it's not that hard, so don't get worried about that.
I feel like it could be called 75 consistent more easily than it could be 75 hard.
It's like 75 normal, like we should be doing this anyway, like you should have 75 normal, right? There's a 75 go, right? And so don't be stressed out, it's a crazy thing to undertake, I get it. Also, it's fun to kind of do things with people, right? It helps keep you motivated. You've got other people pushing you and helping you accomplish things. If you run into obstacles, you're gonna have a team built around you, be like, well, if you tried this, or maybe you need help with things. So yeah, it's gonna be fun, good time. There's a giant prize at the end with family reunion ticket, and we'll have some kind of milestones along that we'll throw some fun stuff in that as well.
Love it. All right, Rachel, anything to add to that?
So Ilario says it's easy. I don't like making calls. I'll tell you, 31 years in, I still don't like making calls. So I'm doing it to be consistent. I know it's good for me. I know it's good for my business. That's why I'm doing it. Just basically fuck up is what I told myself. Fuck up, do something different, push myself a little bit. Ilario says I'm gonna make over $100,000 by doing it, so. Ilario knows.
Bet, there's no way you do that for 75 freaking days. And you don't generate that
Is
much,
that a guarantee?
no.
The difference. Basically, I get a little bit lazy with some of the activities. And I just decided, why not push myself just a little bit, see what happens. I can go back to my old ways at any time. But it really is 75 consistent. And I don't like making calls. So I'm not gonna call it easy. So I don't like it.
So a quick question, what is your, so there's a whole list of things on it, what's your worst feared item on that list?
I don't like making calls.
So 10 calls?
That's double what I even meant to do with the coach.
But they're, okay, so my most feared one is I have to freaking make an out of area
The
agent.
exercise for 10 minutes. That's what got you.
I'm working on that.
Eladio had a little bit of a meltdown about building his out of area agent referral network, which is exactly why I know that what Eladio needs to focus on is building his out of agent or out of area agent network. So there truly isn't anything on that list that is hard in and of itself. It may be hard to get over yourself to do it. But it is not time consuming. It is not difficult. It is something that regardless of what level you are in the business, you could do. And doing that consistent activity, you'd have to try really hard not to make $100,000 doing that consistent activity. Like that's really the bottom line.
The biggest thing for me is to say, how much am I actually working? Which really sounds bad probably for all of us, but when you do these activities that we should be doing and realizing what amount of time does that take? When it does become, I think, hard is when you are busy working, going to your appraisals or doing the things that we do, but to add this in sometimes can be a challenge. But really, when you're not busy, this should be done. Period.
I love it.
And for the support thing, Rachel, what would you tell me if I really didn't want to talk it out of you?
Well, I
Fuck up.
can't say that, but I would say.
So if you've listened to this and you were not yet participating in 75 hard and now you have major FOMO and you are so sad that you did not jump in, fear not, we will still let you play. See Eladio, we can get you on a team. This is something that, like, my most compelling takeaway from Mega Agent Camp came from the t-shirt that Gary was wearing on stage. And I know I wasn't alone in that because I walked out to try and buy t-shirts right after his speech and they were gone, sold out. There was like one sad extra large hanging off the hanger like that. And it was just do the work. Do the work. And that's what 75 hard is. It's just doing the work. And we have so much distraction and chaos, and it is really easy to get absorbed into that and to look up and say, what should I be doing? The work. just do the work. If you will just do the work, everything else works itself out. And most of what you would get frazzled by really didn't need to get you upset. And the few things that are will be much easier for you to navigate and get through if you're doing the work. So, Tony,
What does 75 parts stand for?
it is 75 days of doing the hard work of making phone calls or reaching into your out of network agent population or whatever it is that's hard for you. But it's 75, like I said, I think it should be 75 consistent. It's just we broke down the core things that if you were to do these activities, they would make the biggest difference in your business. And you commit to doing them for 75 days consistently.
Starting,
Well, we started tracking this yesterday, but the 75 days starts when you start. That's the beautiful thing is we can all count to 75 and start from wherever. So even if you haven't started participating yet, you can still do that now. All right, July awards. Congratulations to those agents that had their first listings and first closings. So first listing, we have Brandon Sherlin. First closings, we have Erica Vicente, Esmeralda Salinas, Michaela Napava, and Monique Axel. Let's do a 1, 2, 3. Listings taken, individuals. So our top listers for the month of July. Looks like the individual, it was a 3-way tie with 3 units each. Congratulations to Ashley Lindsay, Cameron Burnside, and Jordan McQueen. 1, 2, 3. And then for team members or rainmakers, congratulations to Joe Reardon with 5 and Lisa Capabella with 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Contracts written, we've got Dana Conway leading the pack with 7, Cameron Burnside with 6, and Mike Heslop with 3. 1, 2, 3. And then for those on teams, our top contracts written, we had Jonah Gamboa with 12.55, it's Marie Serrano with 6.43. Yari Vasquez with 6, Joe Reardon with 5.4, Lori Key with 4, Karen Hansen with 3, and Ruben Gomez with 3. 1, 2, 3. Contracts closed. We've got a tie between Cameron Burnside and Dana Conway with 7 units each. And if you look at that volume, that is just whisper close between the two as well. We're going to do a big round of applause for this. And then contracts closed for team members. We have Jonah Gamboa with 12.55. It's Marie Serrano with 6.43. Yadi Vasquez with 6. Joe Reardon with 5.4. Coco Zaniga with 4.2. Lori Gee with 4.1. And Karen Hansen with 3 units. Round of applause. Our Capper Club, congratulations to those agents who capped. I think this is Monique's, well, I know this is Monique's first time capping since joining Keller Williams. So let's do a special round of applause. And then to those agents that capped again, we've got Joe Reardon, Ruben Gomez, and Edna Lopez on follow-up. $1 million month. Congratulations to all of those agents that closed $1 million or more in volume in the month of July. We have Laura, Dana, Jonah, Lori, Monique, Ruben, Karen, Mike, Itza, Haley, Joe, Yari, Coco, Gary, and Danielle. And then our House of Excellence agents. So these are agents that either had a closing or listed a property that was over $1 million. Most of you know with House of Excellence, that is our luxury earn-in program. It is closing 4 or more properties in that price point over a rolling 24 months that earns you your place in the House of Excellence. So congratulations to all of those agents that worked with that price point in the month of July. We have Laura Assel, Danielle Vaughn, Dana Conway, Erica Ricky, Giovanni Castillo, Lori Gee, Monique Assel, Jonah Gamboa, Itza, and Joe. What if we got Itza Marie's last name wrong?
Oh, it's
Duran, no?
No.
And It's with a T? It's the yours around
Yeah.
that I missed. Okay, all right, sorry, it's right. Okay, and then Crimson Club, this takes all of the activities that agents have been doing, combines them together to come up with a score. And we have Dana in number 1, Cameron number 2, and actually number 3 for Crimson Club. And in team category, we have the Assel Group, Jupiter, and Crocabella Real Estate Group. And then one more for the groups. We've got Gamboa Group was number 1 for the month of July, Key Group number 2, and Utah Casa Group number 3. Okay, so market center rankings, with the win more, no more shift and the changes that we went through with our system last month. It has changed how the rankings are reported. Some of you will be very happy to hear, some of you might be irritated, but the adjusted volume is going away. Dana, I was watching for those eyes. This has been a conversation that Dana and I have had frequently, and I, for the record, agree with Dana on this. So I was also happy to see this go away. So the rankings will now be purely on volume. So you may see that the numbers changed a little bit if you've been tracking this. That is the reason why. But our top 3 in each category right now. So for individual agents year to date, our top 3 is Cameron Burnside, Dana Conway, and Ashley Lindsay. Top 3 rainmakers looking at their production only. We've got Ruben Gomez, Lori Gee, and Mike Heslock. Top team or group agents, we have Danielle Bonds, Gary Sudwall, and it's Marie Martinez Serrato. The top 3 teams, we've got KW Latino, Jupiter, and Team Orlandini. And then top 3 groups, we've got Key Group, Gamboa Group, and BRRE. And the full rankings for everybody who has had any production this year will be up on the bulletin board at the end of team meetings. So feel free to check that out, see who's just above you, and set some goals to move up that leaderboard. We've got our market at a glance here in the slide so that you'll have that. If you've got questions on how to use this, be me, talk to Rachel Ray Eliason. She's our ALC member that I feel like has really leveraged these to the max. But really remember that the beauty of these numbers is in tracking these stats over time and being able to share that information with your clients. And now we have our broker moment.
Okay. You guys, I'm so excited for this. It's gonna make everyone's life so much easier. If you haven't seen the rep sheet, well, here it is. I'm just gonna read through it just so we can all be on the same page. Seller's compensation contribution to buyer's brokerage. Seller and buyer agree that seller shall contribute blank % of the purchase price to buyer's brokerage or blank dollar amount to buyer's brokerage if applicable. If no box is checked, then seller has not agreed to compensate buyer's brokerage in the rep sheet. This payment shall be made in addition to any other compensation agreed to by the seller's brokerage to buyer's brokerage. So if you're using that compensation agreement, make sure you're putting in addition to, not reiterating what that agreement says, okay? We've talked about that a lot, but if there's still not clarity, please come and see me. Let's see. If applicable, buyer agrees that seller's compensation contribution combined with any other payment from seller's brokerage, if applicable, to buyer's brokerage shall not exceed the amount agreed to between buyer and buyer's brokerage in their written buyer broker agreement. So we know this too, right? You cannot take more than what is in your buyer broker agreement. I love that it's all just put here in the rep sheet. It's so nice. Sales proceeds withholding. Buyer and seller authorize and direct the escrow closing office to withhold from seller proceeds at closing sufficient funds to pay off on seller's behalf all mortgages, trustees, judgments, mechanics liens, tax liens, real estate brokerage compensation, and warrants. So, in my opinion, this is so much easier than using that brokerage compensation agreement. So just streamline it, put it in the Rep C in its totality to make your life easier. That's my recommendation. Okay?
Love it. Thank you. Huge round of applause. Thank you to IBEX. Do you want to jump up real quick and then we'll jump to Keith? Let's see.
Okay, hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, hi, I'm Kaya. I just wanted to introduce myself really quick. So I used to be up in Logan, working for IBEX for the past 4 years, also going to Utah State. I studied business, marketing, and then I recently moved to Midvale. So now I'm down in this area. A lot of you probably know Chad. Yes. Yeah.
I love Chad.
We love Chad. He's the best. So Chad's business partner is Adam, who is actually my dad. So it's a little family business, but yeah, it's been fun to work with him. I'm excited to be around in the office. If you ever have any questions or need anything, I want to be here for you. Really quick, I know you've probably heard this a million times, but I just wanted to go over what makes us different than our competitors. And it's this simple picture. So we have these in the copy room. Yes, up there. So you can grab them. Everything in yellow is covered 100%, no exclusions. So we just want to make things super simple for you, make your clients happy and make you look good. So that's our main thing. But yeah, we brought tacos and you guys are welcome to go grab some whenever we wrap up. But it was so nice to meet you and I'm excited to get to know you all.
Thank you. Thank you. And we are very fortunate to have Kimber Walton here today. So you've got, everyone should have a handout from Kimber. I'm gonna, I'm gonna give you this, my better one. All right. This is just broken, so no, that's just
Broken, be careful. Okay, so if you have been on the hub recently, so kwhomehub.com, you click on Agent Hub at the top and you log in with a login. If you don't already have one, you can go create one because you're an agent here. And at the very top of that page, once you log in, there is a little button that just says like NAR resources page. So we have created that specifically within the Home Hub. And started putting more resources on there. So that is a living, breathing page. So we'll have things like something you can go import into your buyer listing presentation about the services you provide, just laying out your value a little bit more. We have also used that as a collaborative area as we, meaning me, see things out there, right? Agents sharing other things. I am just constantly grabbing things that I see would be valuable for all of you, and we're putting them on there. So 2 things that I added today, it's from Jeff Glover, actually published, I think it's like a 16-page PDF on, we don't use the word script, but dialogues around objection handlers with all of the changes. So we put that resource on here. This was another little fun thing I found. So I printed it out for you guys, but the full 16 pages is on the hub. This was from the Realtor magazine, actually back in April, which is crazy, but I loved this and definitely going to be creating content around this for you. But this is called Show Your Worth, the myriad ways to serve your clients. There is a section for working with buyers. There is a section for working with sellers. And I want to say there's probably 100 items, 148 ways that you provide value to your clients from just buyer and seller perspective. So this is a good resource to just remind yourself of all the value that you have And my next step in creating content, but then I think for all of you, is how do I clearly articulate that? Because this hasn't really changed. All of those changes in our forms, it hasn't changed necessarily what we do as agents, and yet it definitely has added the sense of urgency to be able to articulate that very clearly. And so these are the type of resources we're gonna be throwing out there. Any questions? Robin probably covered this either last week or this week, but KW also has a landing page that is a NAR resource page with videos from top agents in our company, top coaches, also content from Mega Camp as far as conversations you can have with your clients. So that is also a just amazing resource. I've shared it on our Facebook group. So if you have never seen it, don't know what I'm talking about, just jump into our Facebook group. I shared it on Facebook. Okay, that's it. You're welcome.
Thank you. Oh, I think about, tomorrow, got a workshop.
Yes. Well, guys, I am coming to hang out with you for a little bit the next few weeks. So don't get too excited, Ken. You don't, if there's no pressure to come tomorrow, but
There's so much pressure.
yeah,
Not
so
even-
10:30 a.m. the next 3 Wednesdays, I am going to be doing a tech focused workshop. So workshop means not the theory of whatever I'm gonna teach. It means like your laptop is out, you're going to learn how to do it, how to implement it. You'll leave with that system pretty much ready to go and run that play. So tomorrow, we're just honing in on creating a lead form that you can then drive on your social to add more people to your database. Very, very specific play that I want to teach all of you. I think we have 13 people signed up. I put a cap on 20 just because that's the amount of candidates I can handle. Just kidding. Where I can create an environment of learning, but also be the most help I can be. So yeah, so there's still some spots left. And then next week, I think we're talking about the consumer app and how you can drive that to your clients. So hopefully you'll just get really specific things you can do. And you don't have to travel. I marketed it to the whole group, but it's here, so. Are you the favorite? You guys decide. You decide.
All right, well, thank you for that. Thank you for being here today. We have lunch from IVEX in the back, and then we will be back here at 12:30. For those of you that are going to hang out for our lunch and learn, we are talking about innovating within the new NAR guidelines and how to actually leverage these changes in your marketing to drive more business, take more market share, actually do more instead of having this be the excuse for doing less. So grab some tacos, come back in here and hang out with me to do that. Thank you for being here this week. I am very excited to hear all of the wins that we share next week on the accountabilities that we set.
Okay.
Sure. Small group. Where's that?
That's what we're out.
College,